Hey everyone, Sir Agnach here and welcome to another video. In today's video I will be recapping our second last war in the group stage in the CWL Elite15 tournament. This week we face Veterans the Arms. So before we go to the war, and if you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. So how did we go against Veterans the Arms? We ended up getting the win 38-34. It was a bit of a sloppy war for both teams, but we ended up getting 8 triples to their 4 and a 92.8 destruction. These were the bases we tripled, and in this war we had everything from lalo to dragons, amazing hybrids, a mass miner attack, a yeti bat, and also an attack I haven't seen since Town Hall 11, the GoBoWi. I will show all of our 3 stars, but let's start with the Golem Bowler Witch attack. Okay, so we've got my Astra coming in with this GoBoWi. He's got 3 golems, 7 witches and 12 bowlers, and an ice golem as well. So he uses a golem, a couple of bowlers and a witch on each side of the flanks just to create that bit of a funnel. Puts the first jump in to send his main army into the eagle and the double scatter shot compartment, and then he's got a second jump that he's going to use to go all the way into the town hall. He also uses the siege barracks behind his main push just to add that bit the extra P.E.K.K.A. and the whizzes to his main army. I think over here with the scatter shots, if he had used his Warren Tone, maybe a few more troops would have survived. But he decides to wait all the way until the few of his troops reach the town hall. A couple of yetis come out of the siege barracks, which are going to help him on that northern side of the base. He brings his RC from 8 o'clock just to create that other side of the funnel with the defenses. And inside the base he pretty much only has his heroes and a golem, and somehow these triples. He has 2 freezes. He freezes a single inferno and the enemy king. That gives enough time for his king and queen to get rid of that enemy king, and for the queen and the warden to get rid of that single inferno. So now he only has 1 single inferno left that can get rid of his heroes, but his queen is there with ability, uses the ability, the inferno goes down, and now it's just clean up. So it was a very strong push at the beginning. Then everything died except for the heroes, and the heroes were able to get rid of the rest of the base, swagging a free spell. Very nice attack. I haven't seen it since Town Hall 11. Okay, so now we've got NiKo coming in with his dragons. He likes using air, so he brings the blimp for an E-clone on that side of the base. He gets rid of some of it. I think he wanted to get rid of that scatter shot as well. It didn't go down, but that didn't affect the outcome of this attack. Puts the baby dragon at 3 o'clock with the dragon just to create the other side of the funnel. Puts the king and queen up there, and then just sends his dragons in. They are gonna go straight into the town hall. Puts freeze for the sweeper there, uses the warning ability. Some of the dragons going to the middle, which is nice. They can get rid of that scatter shot, the eagle. And then he has another set of dragons following the heroes inside the base, which can get rid of all the defenses there in the center. The RC gets rid of some of the defenses down the south, and then it's just clean up. It was a really nice attack. Very quick attack as well. So NiKo with dragons. Now we've got Yoda coming in with Sui Lalo. So he's also bringing a clone. So he brings his blimp in, rages, clones. The eagle goes down, and that entire southern compartment. The enemy queen also goes down. Now he puts his king down. The E-Drag is still alive, so he's going to be able to get rid of some of the trash down there to the south. Brings his Ice Golem in. Tesla start popping up. The Ice Golem and the King are tanking for the Queen. The Super Wall Breaker goes and opens that compartment. The Ice Golem freezes the single Inferno. That's gonna give the Queen enough time to get rid of it. Now it's got 3 Grand Expos and an Air Expo. I think if the Queen had gotten that Air Expo would have been even better, but the value that he got with his Sui Heroes is really good. Now he uses the freeze for the Town Hall, puts the haste down, and now this is the only mistake I've seen this one. The Warden ability took him a little bit too long. I think he could have saved a lot more loons through that Town Hall blast. However, he's using his freeze for the scatter shot and his last haste so that the loons go there. He uses his Earthquake. I believe that Earthquake was meant to be used for the Town Hall in case that it didn't activate, but it was active, so he was able to use it just to damage the scatter shots. Now he just has that Sweeper and the Air Expo left with Lava Hound still not popped. Now it pops, a lot of loons go into that Air Expo, and then it's just clean up. With poison left as well. Nicely done by Yoda with his Sui Lalo. Now we go back to ground with MattHouse coming in with Yeti Bow Bat. So he uses his Warden Walk at 11 and a King and a Baby Dragon at 1 to create a bit of a funnel towards the Town Hall. Brings the Wall Wrecker, which is moving interestingly. The Tornado Trap gets triggered. His entire troops get rid of the Town Hall and puts the jump in so that the Yetis go into the center of the base. His Queen and a few bowlers walked off to the west. Now he sends his bats. He's got 2 freezes, which he's using at the moment. I think also from the Wall Breaker a couple of Ice Golems came out, which is also helping him freeze the center of the base. Now the bats here with Wistar, they're gonna die. He still has the healers inside the base with a couple of Yetis and the Warden. Now it's only 1 Yeti left. All the bats have died, but the Warden is still alive. The healers transfer on to the Queen. The Warden manages to get rid of the scatter shot. Now there's only that single Inferno that gets rid of the Warden. The Queen is getting rid of the outside defenses, and now it's just gonna be a battle between the Queen and the single Inferno. Uses the ability, so now the Queen has to go through the wall, hits through it, and thankfully had enough health that was able to bring the single Inferno down, and the Skellies didn't distract her. So now we've got Agnach coming in with a mass miner attack as well. So he brings his Queen from 9 o'clock, sends the blimp to get rid of that single Inferno. Now the King is there and the scatter is getting rid of the Yetis. So at least he got rid of the single Inferno, which is what he wanted. Uses the P.E.K.K.A. to funnel the Queen. I believe he wants her to go into that little corridor where she's going to be able to get rid of that other single Inferno and the scatter shot as well. Uses the Rage. Really nice control for the Queen walk. Now mass goblins come out of the CC. They seem to be very annoying in the CC. I've noticed they dive very slowly to the poison, and they're very quick as well. So they're a good CC to have against Queen walks. So the Queen, what is she hitting? She was hitting a few Skellies. Now she hits the Grand Expo, goes to the enemy Queen, freezes her, gets rid of. Now she's going through the wall, puts the jumps in, so she's going to be able to go in and get rid of the Warden Statue Expo and Scatter Shot, probably Eagle as well if he manages to keep her alive. On the other side, he already put his King for the funnel and the miners to go all the way into the Town Hall. So the Queen is still alive and helping the miners out. She gets distracted by the Skellies, so they all manage to die, and now the Queen is going towards the Scatter and the Inferno. That's a really nice Queen charge from Agnach, and the RC didn't manage to use her ability, but all the miners managed to get rid of that single Inferno, which is the last single Inferno left. The Queen's still alive with the healers. The miners are just getting rid of all of the defenses on the outside to Tornado Trap doesn't do anything to them. And then the queen continues. She stays alive for the whole raid, which is really good for Agnach. And now the miners just get rid of the rest of the defenses and the buildings, and it's a 3-star. Really nice queen charge from Agnach. Now we've got Captain Snacky coming in with the hybrid. So he uses a baby drag at 9 and another one at 11 to create a bit of a funnel for the queen charge. Wall breaks into that compartment and she's moving in. This way she's going to have access to the RC and to one of the scatter shots. I have a feeling that that other wall breaker was for the town hall compartment, but it ended up targeting the other compartment up top. Now he sends his hybrid into the single inferno area. The queen walks out. So now the queen has missed the town hall. Uses the freeze for the enemy queen and the inferno. Uses the warden ability, so this is gonna help the queen get rid of the enemy queen and the single inferno. He still uses the queen ability anyway, and he's just hoping that his entire army is gonna come around and go towards the town hall. So a few miners are there. The scattershot is still alive and it's killing some of the miners that are on the town hall. However, the healers are keeping them alive and under rage. That was very lucky that the healers were able to keep the miners up, and then the rest of the army comes around the corner and gets rid of the Tesla farm, and then is just one mortar left, and this is a 3-star. A bit of a lucky one with miners under the heal and the rage, but nevertheless a 3-star. So now we've got Joel coming in with the hybrid as well. So he uses the loon around 10 to create a bit of a funnel. He wants his queen to go into that scattershot compartment. Uses a super wall breaker, so she goes in, manages to get rid of the enemy RC and the scattershot. Now he has another super wall breaker which he uses, and is going to give her access to the warden, the multi-inferno, and the enemy queen as well. Uses the freeze for the warden statue. Skellies start distracting her. Puts the king at 12. He also has a siege barracks, so he first the king is going to start creating a bit of a funnel, and then he's going to put his siege barracks around the 1 o'clock area just to keep going around the outside, and then he's going to send his hybrid in between towards the town hall. The queen is still going, uses her ability. A few of the expos are hitting her, so again the mass goblin CC comes out, puts the poison down, the queen goes down. So the only good thing about this is that the healers now transfer onto the hybrid, which sometimes it keeps the hybrid invincible. So uses the warden ability as they're going through the town hall. The tone washes off before the blast goes off, but he can put the heal down and heals them back up. The hogs from the siege barracks go onto the outside and start getting rid of the defenses in the outside area, which keeps the miners and the inside hogs inside. Now the RC still has her ability, uses the last freeze on the scattershot. The RC gets rid of the last multi-inferno and gets distracted by the king, but she ends up getting rid of that scattershot. He still has plenty of miners, and this is another 3-star. So that was a nice hybrid by Joel. And now finally we've got TK also coming in with a hybrid and 2 super wall breakers. Uses the baby dragon and the king to create both sides of the funnel for the queen to go inside. She's going to be able to get rid of a couple expos, the enemy queen and the scatter shots at the beginning. Really nice freezing that warden statue and the enemy queen. The warden statue is it deals a lot of damage on the walks. So the CC comes out, his 2 as golems a witch, so he manages to put the poison down, and that's gonna slow that CC down while the queen gets rid of them. Brings the RC down as well, so the RC is gonna be getting rid of that air defense, making sure that air defense doesn't target the healers as the queen moves in that corridor. I think he wants her to stay in that corridor, so he puts the siege barracks around 7 o'clock. I think he's going to be sending the hybrid in between the siege barracks and the queen. The queen manages to get rid of the eagle. The single inferno is now targeting the queen, and she somehow is going through a wall, I believe because of the RC. Goes through the wall. However, the hybrid is going to be able to push her back in where TK wants her to go. Uses the freeze for the town hall and a heal to keep the hybrid up. The warden ability is still intact. He's going to use it here at the town hall. It goes down. The queen manages to turn back around and do what she needs to do. Go and get rid of that multi-inferno and then get rid of the single inferno as well. He still has one heal left which he uses there for his hybrid. Now the queen can get rid of the outside defenses, the miners can get rid of the 10 o'clock area, and they will all meet up at 12 to finish this base with a nice 3-star as well. Queen went down, however there's plenty of miners and a P.E.K.K.A. and the warden still alive, and this is a 3-star. Nicely done by TK. Well, those were our attacks. Hope you enjoyed them. Now we have one match left and then playoffs begin in the CWL Elite 15. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button and I'll be bringing you more competitive content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time with more clashing. Thanks.